Hi, my name is John Cooper of John Cooper Pet Photography, and I help create beautiful portraits of people's pets. So that can be, it's mainly dogs, but also horses, cats, and sometimes gerbils and rabbits. I first found Design Pit several years ago when I was introduced to Gareth through a mutual friend. We got talking. I was immediately sort of blown away by the type of work that Gareth produces. I knew that when the time was right, that there'd be projects that I'd want to work with him on. As a pet photographer, one of the things I'm most proud of is the fact that we produce really beautiful pieces of artwork for people to display in their homes. So very often when people approach me, there's a conversation at the beginning of the process to start thinking about how they might choose to do that in their homes. And I offer a number of different products. And one of the things that I really wanted to be able to do was to showcase those products in a really beautiful brochure. So I was looking to find a company that could do that in the best possible way. Because if it's not done in a really elegant and stylish manner, it doesn't really help. It doesn't really display the products as they will be seen, and that's why we went to Design Pit, because straight away I knew, having had conversations with Gareth, that we'd be able to achieve that. Design Pit really stood out as a design agency for a number of different reasons. And the first one was the sort of consultative approach that Gareth took when we initially discussed the project. He immediately understood the brief and how important it was for me to get the brochure that I wanted, because it sort of helps the client to understand the products and start to visualise them in their homes. But it also helps me from a business point of view be able to increase my sales. He immediately understood that as a business owner, so he could see that we wanted to help the client visualise those products in their home and really bring that to life. And secondly, he understood my business objectives with it, which I found really made Design Pit stand out. The thing that I enjoyed most about working with Design Pit was the process. The process was genuinely enjoyable. It was fun, but more important than that, it was simple. You know, from original brief through to proof, through to finished print, the whole process was really simple and pleasant. Not to mention the fact that when you actually see the finished design and see it brought to life, it's really exciting, and I'm genuinely excited to see that brochure in my customers' hands and see the impact that it has on my business for the future. It was towards the end of the project when we were trying to finalise the design. Gareth suggested that we have a sort of online Zoom call, and what we were able to do was work through the final parts of the design and just add those finishing flourishes to it. That really brought it together, saved me a huge amount of time sort of to-ing and fro-ing via email, and enabled me to see the product brought to life right at the end, which was really, really exciting. If I were going to recommend Design Pit to a best friend, a family member, I would encourage them to do so for one main reason, and that's empathy. You know, as a business, they understand you and your needs and what you're trying to achieve. Yes, it's about really great design, but it's also about putting together something that's going to work for your business, for your business objectives, and that's not always the case with creatives. You know, so that's the number one thing I would say to a best friend or a close relative if I was going to recommend Design Pit. An outstanding client experience is the top of my list of priorities. So, you know, as a photographer, that of course means taking brilliant photographs, making sure that the shoot is an enjoyable and fun experience. But that whole process starts with those initial interactions I have with the client, and part of that process is the product brochure. because that's the first time that they really start to imagine how their photographs are going to look in their home. And for them to have that product brochure in their hands and enjoy that experience, see the quality, understand what they'll be getting, is not only a pleasure for me, it's a pleasure for them as the clients, and it sets off their sort of client journey in the right direction.